Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Super Prime Time Max on the debate with Arnab. You will remember, viewers, that some time back I had warned all of you that there is a deep state, there is an American deep state, which is going to try and destabilize India. They will use some Indian politicians who are their stooges to try and create a narrative in this country, try and create chaos, try and create anarchy. They will stop at nothing, ladies and gentlemen. They will use mobs, they will instigate, they will provoke. And over the last few days, ladies and gentlemen, it is quite apparent to me that the American deep state is getting very involved in this process of trying to destabilize the country. Sometimes they go and meet the Gupkar gang in Kashmir, then they go and meet OAC, then they go and meet the Congress leaders. So the whole Congi-Indi ecosystem is being played on and worked on by the American deep state. Now, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, George Soros is part of that deep state, directly or indirectly. I believe that these several NGO fronts, the funds operating out of Hawaii, those who transfer thousands of dollars to individual academics in India in the name of quote-unquote fellowships, take them to America like the Phi Circuit to feed them, and in order to make them speak against their own country. That's one part of the effort, which is that of getting Mir Jafars in India to work against national interest. Unfortunately, in our country, we have too many Mir Jafars historically and even as of now. Ladies and gentlemen, today, however, I'm speaking of a very, very clear and obvious case of trying to build a narrative against India abroad. I'll explain this, and I need your complete attention, viewers. Viewers, of late, this organization called Amnesty International, it's been going around the whole world saying that Bangladesh is flooded because of India. It is going around the whole world writing letters, doing PR exercises, it's trying to instigate people, calling activists, saying Bangladesh is going to be completely flooded because India has opened the Farakka Dam. Now, viewers, this is such a case of fake news. Such an open and unscrupulous attempt at fake news and fraud that Amnesty should be ashamed of itself. Shame on you, Amnesty. You've proven today that you're part of the CIA American deep state, that you have an agenda against India, which is why instead of focusing on the fact that hundreds and thousands of Hindus are being targeted in Bangladesh every day by the Jamaat-e-Islami and the Islamists, instead of speaking against the human rights atrocities that are going on right now, this very minute in Bangladesh, you choose to be quiet on that. And you're lying to the whole world that India, according to them, ladies and gentlemen, has released waters, excess waters from its dams, which has caused floods and is killing people in Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me state the facts. Farakka is a barrage, not a dam. It is a barrage, one. B, every year this happens. At this time during the monsoon, there's a seasonal development. When there is heavy rainfall, you release some waters. Farakka is a barrage, not a dam. Amnesty, are you illiterate, ignorant, or malicious, or a mix of all? Ladies and gentlemen, this is annual activity. It happens all the time. The flood situation in Bangladesh is not because India has released water from dams. This is a historical fact. Bangladesh is flood prone. This has happened historically. Now look at the sequence of events. Amnesty said flooding, water scarcity, illegal operations, India has violated international protocols. It says all the floods in Bangladesh are because of India. Not only are the floods in Bangladesh because of India, Amnesty said even water shortage in Bangladesh is because of India. Short of saying that everything in Bangladesh is because of India, including the America-sponsored coup, they have said everything possible. Now they wrote a letter to a EU-based EU NGO, a UN NGO called GHRD. And GHRD's legal head wrote to Amnesty saying everything you're saying is rubbish. You have no interest in the persecution of minorities. You are hypocrites. You are liars. That's effectively what they were told by the UN NGO. But despite all of these facts, and now I'm coming to the core point, CNN writes an article on the 27th of August, which says India is responsible for the floods in Bangladesh. And India is accused of releasing water. This is Indian water. People are saying we hate India. CNN, You don't know your facts. You don't know anything about this region. You sit somewhere in Atlanta or New York. You get any PR piece from Amnesty, at least do your fact check. Shame on you, CNN. Al Jazeera targets India for the Bangladesh floods and says, people in Bangladesh are blaming India for a dam release. I have lost everything. Bangladeshi floods strand 1.25 million homes and people are blaming India. Al Jazeera, we have no expectations from you. But even so, check your facts. Put out an apology. Realize this is annual activity and Farakka is not a dam, it's a barrage. What would Qatar have done in a similar situation? There is no logic anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to understand, it's the weather, it's rainfall. It's not the Indian Ministry of External Affairs planning how to flood Bangladesh. It's absurd. The Farakka barrage gates always remain open in the monsoons. It has always been the case. This clarification has come. And in 2015, an analysis by the World Bank estimated 3.5 million people in Bangladesh were at risk of annual river flooding. It's been stated by the World Bank, but no. You see, Amnesty, CNN, Al Jazeera, CIA, American deep state. Connect the dots. Connect the dots, viewers. And understand the moot point. Why is this happening? This is happening because the CIA and the American deep state has messed up Bangladesh. They don't want to talk about the fact that Yunus has lost control. People are laughing at him everywhere. He's an unmitigated disaster. Inflation has gone beyond control in Bangladesh. The army is refusing to come out and help. Hindus are being targeted. Hindus are being persecuted. They are losing their jobs. Hindu homes have been burned. Hindu businesses have been closed. Hindus are being thrown out of academic positions. Hindus are being brutally targeted every single day, just that the reporting is a bit less. And Bangladesh as a country has fallen down dozens of notches overnight. And all of this has happened because the American deep state meddled in Bangladesh. Now they are embarrassed as hell. They should be. But they want to turn the attention away. How do they turn their attention away? By saying floods in a part of Bangladesh are being caused by India. Now, viewers, the danger in this is that this will lead to further targeting of Hindus in Bangladesh. This is my worry. They are building an anti-India sentiment. The CIA, the American deep state are working very hard through their media wings to create an anti-India sentiment. And Amnesty International is a useful, spineless, invertebrate cog in the wheel in that process. Shame on you, Amnesty. Shame on you, CNN. Shame on you, Al Jazeera. Shame on you, CIA and the American deep state. The facts are before you, viewers. Now, why have I explained all of this over the last 5 to 6 minutes? The moot point I'm trying to make tonight is this, viewers. We have to watch out. We are growing as a country, as an economy. Believe me, viewers, in a matter of time, we'll move to position 4 than 3. We will move from 3 trillion to 5 trillion, and the road to 10 trillion is very realistically closer than the road from 3 to 5 was. We're going to move at a very fast pace. We're going to be a threat to a divided America. We are going to be a threat to an in peril EU. We are much bigger than a bankrupt United Kingdom. And we are a potent challenge to China, which is growing at a flat rate. All of these countries have an interest in pulling us down. And they will pull us down. They will attempt to. They can't really do that. But they're going to try and do that using organizations like Amnesty, CNN, Al Jazeera, Deep State, their media, narrative setters, and of course people like George Soros. This reporting on what Amnesty is saying, this fake news on what Amnesty is saying about the situation in Bangladesh, you need to read more about it. And you need to ask yourself whether you agree with me that it is the most obvious example of fake news narrative setting that has ever happened. Then mark my words, what I said a month back. Link what I said about a month back when Bangladesh was burning, when I said there are some people in India like Rahul Gandhi who want Western intervention in India, how dangerous that is. Consider, link that to this. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, go back and find out over the last 10 to 15 years how openly Amnesty has been supporting the interests of the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi Vadra family in India. Please, before it's too late, connect the dots. Please connect the dots. It's in national interest. If you're seeing this video, I'm sorry if it was too long, forward it to everyone. Please let people know what my views are on this subject. Let us start a conversation on the meddling in Indian affairs of the Western deep states. I come to you with two debates tonight. This is the first debate, of course. I follow it up with a big expose this evening on the Muda scam, because there's a Congress land scam in Karnataka. That's debate number 2 at 9 o'clock tonight. Why Mamata Banerjee is threatening to burn down different parts of the country in her frustration, desperation, and as a consequence of people's anger at her corruption. That is debate 3 at 9 o'clock. And here are the headlines this Wednesday evening on the debate tonight.
বাংলায় যদি আগুন লাগান আসামও থেমে থাকবে না দিল্লিও থেমে থাকবে না আপনার চেয়ারটা আমরা টলমল করে দেব
Shame, shame, shame. First Mamata Banerjee, your government tried to cover up Abhaya's case, then Mamata Banerjee, your police violated the Supreme Court order, and today Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of West Bengal, is openly provoking, inciting and threatening the masses of this country. She says that if Bengal burns, then the Northeast will burn, Delhi will burn, other states in the country will burn as well. After Mamata Banerjee's insightful and hateful remarks, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma responds to her, says, "How dare you, Mamata Banerjee? How dare you threaten Assam?" The Assam Chief Minister corners Mamata's over a divisive remark. Republic Kannada has unearthed a paper trail that goes back 32 years. The terrible, dangerous Muda scam, the Karnataka land scam, has now come back to haunt Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. The Break India, the anti-India ecosystem fed and fattened by the Western media, is accusing India of flooding Bangladesh. What a lie, it is bizarre. But it's clear that the US deep state is not done with the unrest in Bangladesh alone. They have their eyes on the entire South Asian region. And ladies and gentlemen, in the most coordinated fashion, there seems to be an attempt to malign India's image by pinning the blame of the entire floods in Bangladesh onto India's water management policies. Ladies and gentlemen, I already placed the case before you. A short news report and then we debate.
Voices from Bangladesh and the West have been deployed by the US deep state once again to malign India's global image. Some voices from Amnesty International have accused India for the floods that have ravaged southeastern Bangladesh. A video has been made viral on social media with the fake news that water has been released into Bangladesh from India's Dumbur Dam in Tripura. However, the viral video is of the Sri Sailam Dam in Telangana. This viral fake news finds its roots in the false charges levelled by Amnesty. This, despite a statement issued by the Ministry of External Affairs calling out the fake claims. And yet, Western media has picked on this fake news and weaved the usual anti-India narrative around it. Clearly, the US deep state is not done with Bangladesh alone. There is an attempt to undermine New Delhi and disrupt South Asia.
Okay, we have Salahuddin Chaudhary, editor of the Blitz, Abhijit Chawla, geopolitical analyst, Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, Pradeep Das is a community activist, a Bangladeshi citizen who's coming to us live from Canada. Pradeep Das, clearly this is fake news.
Of course, yes, I see it, and I read articles from specialists stating that India is not responsible for the flood in Bangladesh. In fact, the flood is caused by heavy rain, and then the rain that they mentioned from August 19 to August 22 was more heavier in parts of Bangladesh than in India. So clearly, and you know, Bangladesh rivers are shallow due to the mismanagement by the successive governments, the land grabbing and all those things, and then the blame that India caused it is misplaced.
So there's an ecosystem working here, Salahuddin Chaudhary, because this is certain Bangladeshi papers are saying the biggest problem in Bangladesh is India releasing water. I think there are other bigger problems in Bangladesh as of now, and this is a seasonal activity. So what's the conspiracy here?
Thank you. You see, 4 months ago, during a conference held in Pune, it was stated that South Asian nations would be witnessing massive flood. And Mr. Manwar Hussain, meteorologist at Bangladesh Met Office, he has told the media that 4 months ago, Bangladesh government was warned, alerted that there would be a long-lasting massive flood in this country. So what Amnesty is saying and all those propagandists are saying is absolutely false, because this is an evidence I am presenting on behalf from the Bangladesh Met Office. They're saying on record that this flood was forecasted 4 months ago. And it has nothing to do with what they are saying. It's a rubbish propaganda, absolute propaganda. As I said, this is a conspiracy to tarnish the relationship between Bangladesh and India. And this is, it's a...
Who is Amnesty working for, Salahuddin Chaudhry?
Yes, sorry?
Who, on behalf of whom is Amnesty doing this?
Amnesty, Amnesty International, you have to look into the past. Who is Irene Khan? Tariq Rahman's sister-in-law. And she was the top boss in Amnesty International. And Amnesty International, if you look into the Gaza, they are always supporting the jihadis. Amnesty is the very notorious front of the American deep state and CIA for implementing their propaganda. It is not a human rights group.
So which means this is the American deep state which is engineering this. Any doubts about that? Abhijit Chawda, the American deep state is actually moving in quite fast. They are very interested.
I have told it in your debate when something happened in Bangladesh. It's the massive conspiracy against the entire South Asian people. And when this Amnesty is propagating these false narratives, you see the Shehbaz Sharif, Pakistani Prime Minister, is making fun of Bangladesh. So it is you can just connect the dots.
Absolutely, I can see that.
Well,
I can see that, but I'm also seeing the larger geopolitical picture here. And I'd like Abhijit to connect the dots for us tonight from what he's heard so far. Abhijit.
Yes. So right now there are student protests happening in Bangladesh, in case people are not aware. And what's happened is that this new government,
Right now you're saying, right now there are student protests in Bangladesh? Right now again?
So what's happening is that they are releasing terrorists from prison, they are unbanning terrorist organizations, and there is not a single student leader in the cabinet of this government. So what's happening is that now the students are beginning to protest against this new government. And to divert the attention of the students from what's happening, let's call it the deep state, they've unleashed this wave of propaganda. There is Julia Steinberger, who is an economics professor in Lausanne, who's tweeting about this. There is Farhana Sultana, US professor of geography in Syracuse University, who's tweeting about this. And obviously there's Amnesty that's also being roped in to
Are they tweeting
this.
about the Hindus who are under threat?
India in a coordinated manner.
Are they at all talking about the Hindus who are under threat in 278 locations, 48 districts of Bangladesh? There have been attacks on Hindus, Hindu businesses, Hindu temples, even Hindu cremation grounds. Are they talking about that?
Absolutely not. They will not talk about that. And they will lay the blame of anything that happens on India. So, for example, there is this guy, G.M. Tariqul Islam, who's a scholar at the Institute of Water and Flood Management at the Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology in Dhaka. And he says in an article on the New York Times, August 23, that Bangladesh's low-lying geography means floods caused by monsoon rains and cyclones are common. And recent encroachment in infrastructure development has also affected the natural flow of rivers in Bangladesh and made them more likely to overflow. So the New York Times itself has carried this story, which completely explains why this flooding is happening on a regular yearly basis in Bangladesh.
Which means the American
it's not something new. It's not like the Bangladesh Met Department.
No, the American deep state is writing the script.
India.
The American deep state is writing the script for the New York Times. It's writing the script for Al Jazeera. It is writing the script for CNN. I don't think those CNN people even know where Sylhet or Chattogram are. But they're writing articles and analysis of what is happening in Bangladesh. And the real reason for this, Atikur Rahman, is because you know, Jamaat-e-Islami has been unbanned. And starting tomorrow, all these radical Islamist organizations are going to go wild. Which is why you got to change the attention. You're taking pictures from Telangana and showing these as pictures from Bangladesh. Atikur Rahman, take a look at those pictures. Is it an attempt at covering up for the Islamists?
Fine, Arnab, I had told you this before, that our ultimate concern should be the good relations between the two countries, because India cannot afford another liability after Pakistan, a failed state, another liability like Bangladesh. So two populations of two bordering areas, two neighbors, India and Bangladesh, should be very much cautious.
Yeah.
If there is an American deep state on any other part of the world is playing, you know, some kind of tricks on us. So maybe this can be a trap. As far as the flood situation is concerned, what I have read the reports, the minister in Bangladesh, Naid Islam, has just asked one question from the Indian side, that why a warning was not given before any release of water. And the reply of the Ministry of External Affairs from India was not that much satisfying. You cannot just
According to whom?
With the reply saying
according to whom? Who has given it? No. According to whom? You understand? No. 1 minute. Please understand the fact. See, we have not opened the gates of the Farakka barrage. You should understand. You have not traveled in that area. I know. I'm from Assam. No, I know.
Yeah, of course.
When you travel in a train from Uttar Pradesh through Bihar, through North Bengal to Assam, you travel through that area. You have never been there. I know. Farakka is a barrage. Farakka remains open during the entire monsoon.
Arnab,
there is nothing new.
Argument you are posing towards us should have come from the Ministry of External Affairs.
Ministry of External Affairs already said.
Why was not that done?
I think
my concern is if you do not satisfy the Bangladeshi minister, how will you
Abhijit is not disagreeing. Abhijit, what is this?
Look, it is not India's job to satisfy every Tom, Dick and Harry who wants satisfaction. That's not our job. They know very well that this reservoir, this barrage is always open. They know what the climate situation is every year after year. So there is no need for giving them satisfaction. This is simply an excuse that they are using to come down on India. And Bangladesh right now, it's like a horse. Look, when you get a horse that somebody else has used, you want to put it through its paces. You want to see if it can jump, if it can gallop. So that's what the Americans are doing with Bangladesh. Let's see what the Bangladeshi state machinery can do on our behalf. Can we make them do this? Can we make them do that? It's a process that they are going through, and that's why they're blaming India for this. So there is no question of us having to satisfy anybody. That's not our business.
Abhijit, you are being irresponsible.
Don't owe that to anyone.
Abhijit.
Yes, sir.
Abhijit, you are being irresponsible saying that Bangladesh is any Tom, Dick and Harry. How can you call our immediate neighbor a Tom, Dick and Harry? The minister should have got a very satisfying reply. And you say
he's a minister who came to power through a coup, an illegitimate coup, sir.
This is irresponsible on your part.
It's a person who came to power through a coup, an undemocratic,
By the way, there is no
coup.
minister. There are only a bunch of advisors right now who are running at the women fancy of the military government.
Then you
and the Jamaat-e-Islami. I want to get it. I would like to close by asking Salahuddin Chaudhary what the ground situation is after the coup. You see, they're trying to distract attention from all of these things. We're concerned what is happening on the ground, you know, with the Islamist forces, with the economy, with the overall situation. How are people feeling?
First of all, you see, the American deep state, they have messed up everything in Bangladesh. And they understand that what they have done, it has backfired. And the way they tried to find a retreat way from Afghanistan, now they are trying to find a retreat by putting the blame on India. This is happening. Secondly, you are correct that Bangladesh don't have a minister, and they are openly claiming it's not an interim government. They say it's a revolutionary government. A revolutionary government.
Yeah, Jamaat-e-Islami revolution.
Revolutionary. Not only Jamaat-e-Islami, the day before yesterday, the kingpin of Ansar al-Islam was released from the jail, and all cases filed against him since 2008. Remember, Awami League came to power in 2009. In 2008, all the cases had been dismissed, and he is released. So American deep state now messed up Bangladesh, and now they are trying to create another Al-Qaeda in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And this kind of the propaganda, centering the flood and many other things against the India and Indian national, it is continuing because it is all part of the nasty game of the American deep state.
Yeah, but I
They
tell you
have
one thing.
messed up.
They messed up completely, Salahuddin Chaudhary. They messed up completely. I so agree with you. With all distraction. And viewers, I want to tell you there are brave journalists like Salahuddin Shoaib Chaudhary who speak out. And hats off to you, Mr. Chaudhary, for speaking out and being a voice of journalistic dissent at a time when so many people are just falling in line. I thank you all for joining. Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
1 second, just 30 seconds.
Yes.
This revolutionary government is pushing everyone to become revolutionary. Every day there is a demand from rickshaw pullers to garment workers. I'm fearing when my housekeeper would also start revolting, saying that you have to marry me. This is the situation, a very chaotic situation, a messed up country. And now they want to divert the responsibility on India, nothing else.
Anarchy only leads to greater anarchy, Salahuddin Chaudhary.
I would like to add one point here.
Yes, Pradeep.
Time?
Yes, 10
Yes,
seconds.
I think this India blame game is to obscure the real issue that is happening in Bangladesh. You know, you can talk about the terrorists that are being released. You can talk about the jailbreak, the attack on the police stations, and we know that thousands of ammunitions and guns are looted from there, and the terrorists escaped. Where are they going? And we see that corresponding violence against the minorities, and India raised a strong voice this time, strong concerns this time. So they are trying to turn it on India to mute them.
No.
You know, they are propagating this conspiracy theory so that India, you know, stay busy responding to these allegations than putting
it's not going to
Bangladesh
work.
on the spot.
It's absolutely not going to work, Pradeep Das. Things are clear
and
to
are
us.
Blaming, and we see it started from Al Jazeera, then some called
CNN,
a fact checker, then CNN, and we saw in New York Times they had to change their headlines because they said that attacks on minorities were revenge attack, as if we did something. Minorities did something in Bangladesh to attract their retribution, which was not true. And then under strong protest from the journalists and the Bangladeshi community, New York Times retracted their headline.
We need to, Pradeep Das, we need to keep up the pressure. We need to get the narrative right. Yeah. And we shall do that. We shall do that. Together we will. Together we will.
Sure.
We will. We'll stay strong. I thank you all for sharing your insights tonight, ladies and gentlemen.